Like never before have we had the opportunity to make some changes in our lives for the better, for the good, than we have right now.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
And welcome back to the program, everyone. Another quick mini-sode for you. Mini-sode, get it? Mini, as in small. Not a full episode, but a mini-sode. Want to pause here, remind you we're sponsored by ANOW Software. ANOW, of course, is the software that I use in my office to manage everything from orders to analytics. ANOW.com is where you learn more, ANOW.com. Well, folks, it is a topic that we have discussed here in many different aspects before, and the topic at hand is change. Folks, I want to just take you back a little bit, and I was actually reminded by a guest recently. I always kind of think of the appraisal industry as starting in the 1930s, but it actually started before that. It can trace its roots back to the early 1900s, and it has undergone, as we all know, many, many changes over the years. Now, in recent history, when I say recent, I'm talking, in this quarter of the century anyway, we've had a lot of changes even then, right? You got the Green Hornet, you've got Firea in 1990, and the development of USPAP. You have the drive-bys come along. Boy, that was a big to-do, right? It was a little before my time, but according to my dad, that was, if you see people complaining about, I'll never do a desktop in my life, folks, those people were around when the drive-bys came out as well. And a lot of them, of course, are doing that now. Lots of changes over the years. When I first started is kind of the inception, if you will, of the mobile devices, right? I was using in 2000, the year 2000, I was using a pocket PC, they called it. That was before they had smartphones, and always had a stylus. Think of BlackBerry, right? Now, these were not BlackBerries. They were Jornadas. They were Compacts. These are HP, had the Jornada, and Compaq had their thing. Then they combined forces into a company. And these things were crapola, honestly. They had a stylus. They were black and white. You filled it out. You would bring it back. You would hope the data didn't get lost between the field and plugging it in at the desk. That was fun. And, laser measuring, of course, you've got the AVMs in the early 2000s. Everybody thought that their job would be done, that the computers are going to value homes, and we're all in for doom and gloom. Lots of changes over the years. And folks, I will tell you, in all the changes that appraisal has seen in the last 100 years, right, 100 plus years, I have never seen the amount of change in this industry that I see now. And for some, that can be a very scary thing, right? The desktops, the hybrids, the changes with data, big data, data collection, ANSI changing, and USPAP changing to accommodate, different things. Lots of different moving parts right now in the appraisal industry. And let's face it, that can be a scary thing. I'm a very busy coach right now. Lots of people reaching out, wanting some direction, wanting some mentoring, wanting some ideas to bounce off of somebody, and I'm happy to provide that. But it's a scary time for appraisers, and we've talked again on this program about fear and not letting fear be your guide. But I want to talk a little bit, maybe from a different perspective, not so much about change, but what change brings. One of the things that you need to be changing in your business is the way that you manage your appraisal business, your appraisals themselves. How do you move them through the process? What do you use as a management tool? Well, folks, I use ANOW software. I've been using it for many years, and it was a tough change for me to make many years ago. Marty had to really twist my arm to jump on the ANOW bandwagon, and I'm glad I did. ANOW.com is where you find out more. Again, it's ANOW.com. Welcome back, every one of you, to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out. We're talking not so much about change, but about what change can bring to your life. I started the program by talking about kind of the history of appraisal. In brief. We could go on and on about the different changes that have occurred over the years, but we've seen many just in my lifetime. And when I say my lifetime, I mean my appraisal lifetime, starting in 1996. I've seen a lot of change over the years and continue to see change. I've never seen more change, though, than what we're seeing currently. starting in about 2000 with the pandemic and the changes that occurred there, the different addendums and the ability to do a 1004 from the street or from a desktop. It was crazy, right? And one of the things that Fannie Mae found was that there was not a big change in quality. I know, you don't like to hear this, but they found on their side, their own statistics, not mine. I'm just repeating what they're saying, that there was not a big change in quality from walking through the property versus doing desktops, which led to some more change, right? And now they're talking about desktops and they're talking about hybrids and so many other things coming down the pipe. And again, this can be a scary thing or big OR here, it can be an opportunity. Now, I know that sounds like hyperbole. That sounds like platitudes. Come on, Dustin, really? Okay, so you're going to tell me that change brings Yeah, I am. I'm going to tell you that change brings opportunity. I had an opportunity this morning. What got me thinking about this was I had an opportunity to do some coaching this morning with an individual. She's a member of my mastermind, and we sat down for about 30 minutes this morning and just talking about an opportunity that came her way recently. And she said, with the changes that are coming, this opportunity probably would not have looked that great to me in the past, but right now it's looking good to me. And I'm thinking this may be a good way to go for me. And I said to her, isn't that funny how change can bring about opportunity? Really? Like never before. The world is your oyster as an appraiser right now. Like never before have we had the opportunity to make some changes in our lives for the better, for the good, than we have right now. This opportunity that is before us is incredible. Desktops. Now, I know a lot of you say, Dustin, I'm not going to do a desktop, but we all refuse to do desktops. They'll just go away. I get it. I've heard it. I've heard it 1,000 times. Trust me. I'm on a lot of people's dirt list right now because I'm at least open to the idea. But folks, let's take out the world of desktops just for Fannie Mae and ask, are there other opportunities for you? For example, in my own office, on a private side, we've been doing desktops for years. A lot of times it just makes more sense for the scope of work. Hey, I just want to know the value of my property. I'm thinking about listing it. I don't trust the realtor to give me an accurate CMA. I just want to know what the value is. Great. We've got all the details. We've got all the information. We can do the desktop, right? Hybrids, same way, right? Now, I'm not a big fan of hybrids on somebody who you don't know, a third party, if you will, that has not been trained or oversight been given by you. But are there opportunities there for interoffice hybrids? Absolutely. We've been doing it for years. Sometimes the individual that goes out to do the appointment and walk through the property is not the same person that chooses the comps. Yeah, crazy, right? But folks, I'm telling you, there's opportunity galore throughout your. What about something else, right? What about another opportunity like this individual I was coaching this morning? She had an offer from a company, and she said, to be a quote unquote staff appraiser never really interested me in the past, but it kind of does now. Great opportunity, right? What about moving more into the personal side of things? Personal appraisals, private appraisals, more opportunity now than ever before, folks. When you get fearful, when you get scared, and we all do, step back for just a little bit. Do two things, right? Number one. What is the worst case scenario? Once you can solve that problem, you can do anything. And number two, ask yourself, what opportunities are coming to me because of this change? Folks, I mentioned personal coaching. I've been doing a lot of it lately. Thankfully, my schedule has opened up to do even more. Would love for an opportunity to sit down with you, and I use air quotes when I say that, at least virtually sit down with you and talk. Find out where you're at, where you want to be, and help you get there. Find out more at theappraisercoach.com. It's theappraisercoach.com.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.
Starting about 2000, right, with the pandemic and the different changes that occurred there, and the pizza guy is here. Hit pause.